Greetings. This is Roland. Our purpose is to introduce a series of videos to transmit my legacy. My personal integrative holistic physician, Dr. Parker, degreed at the University of Minnesota in functional medicine, suggested I consciously depict a wish for my legacy. My wish is to transfer my competence in whole system transformation to my wife, Maja, and to my daughter, Ariel, both rising stars as agents of change. An early famous organization development book was entitled The Age of Heretics. I'm a heretic. I'm an original 100 change agent. Therefore, I'm going to read my video text. In my whole system transformation world, or WST, we speak from the heart. Kathy Dana Miller, my mentor, would never allow anything to be read from the stage or to use PowerPoints. Thus, in the spirit of being a heretic, I ignore a basic WST principle as I read. Why? Because I dictated it out of a state of mindfulness or consciousness and meditation. And I know that I'll never be able to spontaneously do the same job as I did realizing from my meditation. May I say, with great humility and gratitude for the grace of God, that I'm the only person globally who on a daily basis has been doing yoga and practicing organization development since 1962. I learned my yoga directly from Dr. Shivananda, who was first a famous authored physician before realizing to be a Swami. He wrote over 400 books in English on yoga. I have consulted his organization since the 60s. Now it's the largest global yoga organization. Both mindfulness and transformation have come into this day roaring like a lion. I humbly submit that most people have no idea what they're talking about. Someday they will, after they spend 50 years in ascetic discipline, practicing the art and science of such. A personal side story. When I hit the will call ecstasy in the 70s, I sought out Sri Narod, a local master of yoga in Chicago. I needed him to help me understand my experience of the phenomenal joy, along with superintuitive consciousness state that defined any descriptive words, or as St. Paul would say, it passes all understanding. I ended up living next door to him at the University of Chicago, while being tutored face to face until he left his physical body some 10-15 years ago. From India, then Harvard, he's the only person alone who has taught yoga in the United States since 1920. The famed Yogananda at one time lived with him. He shared with me on his 90th birthday that he had transformed more in the last 12 months than he had in his previous 89 years. Now that is transformative exponential change. My legacy's purpose is to help others create exponential change for individuals, organizations, and communities, if not countries. Take a deep breath with me. Legacy. Dr. Perry, the first Asian Crown Fellow at National Training Laboratories, and I wished for a WST certificate that would have more status and result in more applied effectiveness than any PhD. Finally, some 20 years later, the Asian Organization Development Network that I co-founded with him will offer such certificates. The purpose of these videos is to transmit my legacy to others via the underpinning theorems and practices from those who have taught me. It's raining. The series is for those who will be velcroed to my hip as my daughter and wife will be, just as I will be to Kathy Dana Miller's. Outcomes include you beginning to learn how to create or facilitate paradigm shifts, system breakthroughs, change in system character and values, change in identity, cultural transformation and connectivity with singularity, and the magical release of strategic aspiration. And in sum, this is what my 7-year-old daughter told me when I was stumbling on the phone trying to describe what transformation was to Bob Dufek from Northwest Airlines. At the moment she was playing on her Apple IIe computer. She said, "Daddy, it's metamorphosis. It's when the caterpillar becomes the butterfly." This series starts with 2 videos on system thinking by Russell Akoff from the Wharton School of Business. Kathy mentioned him to me in the opening of every client engagement she ever had. Akoff is followed by 7 videos of storytelling about my primary mentor, Dr. Jack Gibb. I highlight his Tory theory of trust. I hold Jack as the greatest facilitator in the history of organization development. I recall him doing a fall orientation for 10,000 students in a football stadium. He just grabbed the mic and started, spontaneously leading the whole interactive show for 3 days. My other main thrust of learning came from Jack's friend, Dr. Ron Lippitt, and his student, Kathy Dana Miller. I hold Kathy as the most powerful female change agent who's ever lived. Unlike Jack, Ron Lippitt was extremely structured, as was my master's advisor at Loyola University, Father, and Dr. Gerard Egan. Phase 1 of WST is highly structured. Phase 2 is highly unstructured. I have 30 videos on all the above, plus another 30 change giants. So continue, search on YouTube for Roland Sullivan Transformation Certificate, Introduction 2. Did you notice I was wearing a gold yellow shirt to make a statement about having impeccable logistics in a large group interactive event? Beckert says logistics is more important than one realizes. Here's Maja, my partner, who trained the logistic team, being recognized by our client, who has a doctorate in OD, and is CEO of this rapidly growing organization of 9 companies. Look at all the young leaders. We have employees under 30 managing $1 million budgets. We are in Pattaya, a vacation land, a few hours from corporate office in Bangkok. 200 leading employees being rewarded to Partyland as we mix in very serious work in WST. When they returned to work, some forgot to eat lunch because they were so motivated and productive. Cheerio.